only won that proposal, we've also delivered it. So we have closure on the first major success we've had internationally. That's a huge yardstick. But as you can see here, we have many other bids ongoing in the United States. And we also have some bids that have been developed and indeed submitted, I think. I know that when I met Matt the other day, he said the bids have gone in. So we are working extensively with a number of different authorities in the United States. CERL, who we've had success with before, the DOE, and we're reasonably optimistic that we will win one, maybe two projects in this area over the next 12 months or so. So by then we'll have quite a few programs ongoing that CBI has initiated, including Europe as well, which I'll come on to in a minute. Another thing that's worth pointing out here, and please come and chat to myself or Matt about this, particularly to Matt actually I would say, is there is an initiative on at the moment between the DOE in the United States and India. So they're looking to fund projects in the area of energy systems. We think this is a prime opportunity, and obviously we're that sort of organisation that wants to foster that collaboration. So come and speak to Dr. Rayford or myself, and we will talk to you more about the DOE opportunity. In Europe, we started activities 2 years ago. We mapped out the landscape of European public funding. And we thought very strategically about where we could gain funding. If you look at the main instruments in the European Union, Horizon Europe is the biggest, but there's also the Innovation Fund, and there are a number of other national funds in Germany, the United Kingdom, France, so on and so forth. We mapped out this landscape and thought, well, where do lead batteries where can they play? And we saw a number of opportunities, but they weren't the obvious ones. There are no calls, for example, detailing the development of fundamental technologies for lead batteries. There is a preconception within Europe and the halls of Brussels that lead batteries are an old technology and they have major disadvantages. We're trying to show them that that's not the case. We've won 3 projects so far. So we have the low cell H2 project, which I'll talk about in a bit more detail later, and Alistair talked briefly about this morning. We have the AFTRAC project, which is with Innovate UK in the United Kingdom. And we've just been announced as the winners of another round of Innovate UK funding for a project called MESH. So we've had 3.
Lead acid battery, where it is giving a very good life, fertilizer. We went for TPPL, thin plate pure lead. Basically, our preliminary studies in fertilizer, we could able to make it $0.50 per kg. So, what is the logic thought process behind going for TPPL rather than tubular lead acid?
I think he's in opinion that we are using the fertilizer, and he was saying that TPPL, whether it's used for fertilizer.
What is the thought process when tubular lead acid is giving much better performance? What is the thought process of going for TPPL? For fertilizer, yes.
We're not using the TPL for a batomizer.
Okay.
We're using lead acid battery storage is one thing to store solar energy. And then we have another system, completely different system, which is the batomizer, and that is based on a different technology.
You know this lead acid battery, the hydrogen for this. So lead acid battery during overcharging, giving hydrogen, you don't use this hydrogen?
No.
You can take another questions. Yeah.
Battery with fuel cell technology, is it the concept?
No, it's a battery and a battalyzer. So there's batteries that go into for energy storage, and then we have a battalyzer, which is
Hydrogen production.
which is like for hydrogen production. They're both completely separate.
What is the technology used for the hydrogen production? Is it PMFC?
It is not. No, it is a battalyzer. The battalyzer is a very bad. It's based on a very bad battery,
So
and it's optimized to produce hydrogen.
grey hydrogen. Is it a grey hydrogen or
I
a
don't know.
green hydrogen?
It's
There are
green
different types
hydrogen.
of
A gentleman named Emery Joe. So he's their chief fellow. So he's started a working group and webinar series trying to talk about energy storage. This is how it started, just generally with India. So right now, this development is still rather immature, and based on past experience, the best way to stimulate funding, there's two ways you can do it. You can wait for a request, or you can go to a group like this with a proposal, and that's what we're recommending, is that now is the time to actually develop ideas and get concept notes together and start to bring these into this group. So instead of us waiting for the conversation to come to some conclusion, to conclude it ourselves. So the collaboration is starting and it has a lot of momentum. So my recommendation is to work with Indian battery manufacturers and develop concept notes that make sense for what they want, but are also in line with strategic goals of India that overlap with the United States Department of Energy. Because if we can do that, it's something they can talk about instead of us just going to them and, saying, hey, we want to work together. So that's my recommendation.
Thank you, Carl. So I think we should give a big round of applause for Carl. It was a stimulating discussion. And now I'll request Mr. Stewart of Arc Active to take